Fire is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and the filthy air.
What waterman is that? He can report as seemeth by his plight of the revolt of the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who like a good hearty soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king's knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful as it stood, the multiplying villainies of nature did swarm upon him, but all's too weak for brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution.
O valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
So from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, his comfort swells, Mark, King of Scotland, Mark. The Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with furbished arms with new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismay not this, our captains Macbeth and Banquo.
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare line. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell, but I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
So will thy words become thee as my wounds. They smack the honor of both. Go get them surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste looks through his eyes, so should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest through, worthy Thane?
The Thane of Cawdor began a dismal conflict, till the Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in reproof, confronted him with self-comparisons. The victory fell on us.
Great happiness.
The Norway's king craves composition, nor would we dine him burial of his men, till he disbursed at St. Column's Inch $10,000 to our general use.
No more than Thane of Cawdor shall receive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and win his former title of great Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost no Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine. Sister, where thou?
The sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched, and munched, and munched. Give me, quoth I, a right thee witch, the Rumpenrunian cries. Husband's to Alio, gone, master o' the tiger. But in a thief I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee wind.
That kind.
And I another.
And I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know. I, the shipman's cog, will drain who dries hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Wearing sea nights 929 shall he dwindle peak and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Drag of a pilot's thumb, where could his home he did come?
A drum, a drum. Macbeth had come.
We are sisters hand in hand, pastors of the sea and land. Thus do go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up nine. Peace! The chimes wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it called the forest? What are these so withered and so wild in their attire, that look like the inhabitants of the earth and yet are on it?
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start, and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? Are ye fantastical? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction, that it seems wrapped withal. To me, you speak not. And if you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, then speak to me.
Hail,
Hail,
Hail!
lesser than Macbeth and greater.
so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how Carter? Speak, I charge you.
Whither are they banished? Have we eaten on the insane root?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Carter too, went it not so?
Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And for an earnest of greater honor, he bade me, for him, call thee Thane of Cawdor.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Carter lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robe?
He labored in his country's wreck, I know not, but treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Carter, the greatest is behind. thank you for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown. Besides the Thane of Cawdor, but 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm. The instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you?
2 truths are told. Cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me my earnest of success? Commencing in a truth, I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less horrible imaginings. My thought whose murder yet is but fantastical. Shake so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New horrors come upon him, like our strange garments. Cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy MacBeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor, my dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us toward the king.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is the execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report the very frankly he confessed his treasons. Nothing in life became him like believing it.
There is no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. The sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing pay itself.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are nearest, we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you, so humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor,
The Prince of Cumberland, that is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erlap. For in my way it lies, stars hide your fires, let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be which eye the fears, when it is done to see.
true, worthy Banco, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
Met me in the day of success, and hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred to me the coming of time, with Hail King that shalt be. Lay it to thy heart and farewell.
Glamis, thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be. What thou art promised, yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Is not thy master with him? The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe-top full of direst cruelty. Glumps, glumps, worthy Cawdor, greater than both, by the all-hailed hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he proposes.
Oh, never. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters by welcoming you high. Your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for.
We will speak further.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. See, our honored hostess.
All our service, in every point, twice done, and then done double. We rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We cursed him at his heels and had purpose, be his purveyor. But he rides well, and his great love, sharp as a spur, hath holp him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we're your guest tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs, themselves, and what is theirs, and compt, to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well if it were done quickly. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, should against his murder shut the door, not bear the knife myself. How now, what news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late.
Was the hope drunk? Wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale? At what it did so freely? From this time, such I count thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor, as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest, the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting, I dare not wait upon, I would, like the poor cat in the adage.
Prithee, peace. I dare do that may become a man who dares do more as none.
What beast was it then that made you brave this enterprise to me? I have given suck and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it's smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I sworn as you. Have done this?
If we should fail?
We fail! And will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, his two chamberlains will I with wine and whistle, so convinced that memory, the water of the brain, shall be a funeral, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. What cannot you and I perform on the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quarrel?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and use their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other? And we shall make our griefs in clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled and bend up, each corporal agent to this terrible feat, away and mock the time with the fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know. It shall make it honor for you.
So I lose none. In seeking to augment it, I shall be counseled.
Good response the while.
Thanks, sir. The like of you.
Go bid thy mistress when my drink is ready. She'll strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. The handle toward my hand. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a false creation? Art thou but a false creation? Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for their very stones prate of my whereabouts. While I threat he lives, words to the heat of the deeds too coldly, breath gives. I go, and it is done. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Which hath made them drunk, hath made me bold. Death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What? Ho!
Alack, I am afraid they have awakened. And 'tis not done. The attempt, and not the deed, have confound us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I hadn't done it. My husband!
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owls scream and the crickets cry.
Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say is sorry sight.
There's one did laugh and sleeps, and one cried, Murder! That they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cries, God bless us, and Amen. The other, as they lay, had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening in their fear. I could not say Amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce Amen? I had most need of blessing and Amen, stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought. After these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, Sleep no more. MacBeth doth murder sleep, the innocent sleep, the sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher and life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, Sleep no more. To all the house, Clarence hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cotter shall sleep no more. MacBeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water, and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think of what I have done. Look on't again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of a child that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is't with me, with every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ha! They pluck out mine eyes, with all great Neptune's oceans washless blood, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die. Clean from my hand, no, this hand will rather the multitudinous sea in Arcadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water cleans us of the deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy had left you unattended. Hark, we're knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion calls us, and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking, I would thou couldst. Reporter.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
You did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly where we lay. Our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, Lamingtons heard I, the air, strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched to the rueful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive or name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion hath thou made his masterpiece. The sacrilegious murder hath broke oath. The Lord's anointed temple, and stole hence the light from the building.
What is't you say? The light? Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new Gorgon. Do not bid me to speak. See and then speak yourselves. Awake, awake, ring the alarm bell, murder and treason, Banquo and Donalbain, Malcolm, awake!
What's the business? Speak! Speak!
O gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as I'd have fell. O Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Oh, lass! What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee contract thyself, and say it not so.
What is amiss? You are, and do not note, the spring, the head of the fountain of your blood. It's stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's been murdered.
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done. Their hands and faces were embadged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh yeah, I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man.
Help me hence! Oh!
Look to the lady.
Why do we hold our tongues? That most may claim this argument for ours.
What should be spoken here, where our fate, in an augur hole, may rush and seize us? Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor a strong sorrow, upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office, which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland, I, our separated fortune, shall keep us both the safer where we are, as daggers and men's smiles, the near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft is shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft, which steals us up, but there's no mercy left.
How goes the world, sir?
Why see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that MacBeth hath slain.
Alas, the day, what good could they pretend?
They were stubborn. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, were stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, thriftless ambition, that wilt raven up, thine own life's means, then 'tis more like the sovereignty will fall upon MacBeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Comokil, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, also Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
Thou hast it now, King. Cawdor, Glumps, all is the weird woman promised, and I fear thou playest most foully for it.
Here's our chief guest. Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to which my duties are most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
Is't far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time. Twixt this and supper, go not my horse the better. I must become a borrower of the night, for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide. Hie you to the horse, adieu, till you return at night. Goes Flints with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horse was swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time, till 7 at night to make society. A sweeter welcome we will keep ourselves, till supper time alone. While then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature he chastened. And they first put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like they hailed him farther to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, or put a barren scepter in my grip. Thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then now, have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in the times past which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue ye go for men, as hounds and greyhounds, spaniels, mongrels, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. Now if you have a station in the file, not I the worst rank of manhood, sate, and I will put that business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless, that I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tug with fortune, that I would set my lie on any chance to mend it or to be rid.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy?
True, my lord.
So he is mine, that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye, for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives.
Your spirits shine through. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves. Acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment on't, for it must be done tonight. And summoning from the palace, Flint's his son must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded, Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Still gone from court?
Aye, madame, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king, I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madame, I will.
Not had, all spent, where a desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be what which we destroy, than be destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorry's fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died, with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in the danger of her former tooth. Let the frame of things disjoint, both the world sufferer. Duncan is in his grave, after life's fitful fever he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst, nor steel nor poison, malice domestic. Foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord, slake over your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love, I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions in my mind, dear wife, thou knowest that Banquo in his flints lives.
But in them, nature's copies, not eternal.
There's comfort yet, they are assidable. And then be thou jocund ere the bat hath flown, his cloister flight ere to the black hecate summons, the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal. There shall be done a deed of dreadful doom.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, searing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. So prithee, go with me.
But who did bid thee join with us?
MacBeth.
Then stand with us. The west glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the weighted travelers of haste to gain the timely end and near approaches the subject of our march.
Hark, I hear horses.
Give us light there, ho!
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about?
Almost a mile, but he does usually. So all men do. From hence to the palace gate, make it their walk.
A light, a light.
'Tis he. Stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Fly, good Fleance! Fly, fly, fly! Thou mayst revenge your slave!
Who did strike out the light?
What's not the way?
There's but one down. The sun is fled. We have lost best half of our affair.
Well, let's weigh and see how much is done.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last the hearty welcome. Thanks to your majesty. Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all your friends. For my heart speaks, they are welcome.
See they encounter thee with their hearts' thanks. Both sides are even. Heroes sit in the midst, be the large mirth. Anon will drink a measure the table round. There's blood on my face.
'Tis Blanco's then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut, that I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. And he's good that did the like for fleas. If thou didst it, thou art the non-peril.
Most royal, sir. Flint's is escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I'm cabined, cribbed, confined, bound to saucy doubts and fears. Thanks for that.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer, least a soul, that is not often vouched, while 'tis a making. 'Tis given with welcome, to feed where best at home. From thence the sauce to meat is ceremony. Meeting we're bare without it.
Sweet remembrancer, now good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honored roof, with the graced person of our Banquo present, who I may rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please it your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here is the place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou can't say I did it. Never shake thy glory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and have been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary, upon a thought. He will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I and a bold one, that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts. Impostors, too true fear. You look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there. Behold, look, lo. How say you? Why, what care I? If thou can't nod, speak to. If charnel houses in our graves must send those that we bury back, our monuments shall be the maws of kites.
What quite unmanned and folly?
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie, for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now, and pushes us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt and quit my sight. Let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers. But as a thing of custom, 'tis no other. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare? Approach thou like a rugged Russian bear. Take any shape but that. My firm nerve shall never tremble. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery. Hence! Why so, being gone? I am a man again. I pray you sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting, with most admired disorder.
Can such things be, and overcome us like a summer's cloud? Without our special wonder, you make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe. When I now think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks, when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Questions enrage him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move trees to speak. What is this night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send, in betimes I will, to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, strange things I have in head, that will to hand, which must be acted ere they may scan.
You lack the seasons of all nature's sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the innate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Trade and traffic with Macbeth and riddles and affairs of death. Meet me in the morning. Thither he knows his destiny. Hark, I'm called.
Christ and once the empty wine. Hope your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, into the poison entrails grow. Sweltered then in the sleeping gut, boil thou I the first charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake in the cauldron boil and bake. I am newt, toe of frog, wool of bat, tongue of dog. For this charm has much trouble. Think but there's an olive bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf. Twice the hedge pig wine. Add thereto our tiger's cauldron for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with baboon's blood till the charm is firm and good.
Oh, well done. I commend your pains.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
Secret black and midnight hags, what is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you confess, however you come to know it, answer me. Against the churches through the yesty ways, confound and swallow navigation up. Answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
Say it thus, rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour in Sal's blood that hath eaten here 9 pharaoh, grease that sweating from the murderers, give it throw into the flame. Come high or low, thyself in office defiantly show.
Tell me thou unknown power.
He knows thy not, hear his speech, but say thou not. Macbeth, 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 beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me, enough.
Whate'er thou art for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright, but one word more.
He will not be committed. Here's another, more potent than the first. Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 years, I'll hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. Issue of a king,
and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty.
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion melted, proud, and take no care who chides, who frets, or where conspires are. Macbeth shall never vanquish thee until wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who could impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix his earthbound roof. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me if your art can tell so much. Shall Banquo's in his kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know, why sinks that cauldron, and what noise is this?
Show.
Show
his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs. Why do you show me this? A fourth! Start eyes! What will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? And yet another! A seventh! I'll see no more. And yet the eighth appears, who bears a glass which shows me many more. In some I see that twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight. Now I see 'tis true, for the blood bolter, Banquo, smiles upon me, and points at them for his. What is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth such amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his spirits, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stand aye accursed in the calendar. Come, without there. What's your grace's will? Saw you the weird sisters? No, my lord. Came they not by you? No, indeed, my lord. Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who else came by? 'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff is fled to England. Fled to England? Aye, my good lord. Time thou anticipates my dread exploits. Bloody purpose never his o'ertook, unless the deed go with it. From this moment the very burstings of my heart shall be the burstings of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it the thought, and the castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, and give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babe, and all unfortunate souls.
And to make him fly the land.
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His fight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom to leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not.
My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. I dare not speak much further. Cruel are the times, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless. Sirrah, your father's dead, and what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What with worms and flies?
What will I get? I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird, that was never fear, the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father is not dead, for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. How will thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet, I faith, with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so.
Every one that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools. Our liars and swearers are now to beat the honest men to hang up them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, if were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkest.
Bless you, fair dame. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here, hence with your little ones. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? What are these faces?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified. where such as thou mayest find him.
He is a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
What? You egg, young fry of treachery!
He has killed me, mother. Run away! I pray you.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast to the immortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and birthdom.
What I believe I'll well, I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom, to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But MacBeth is, and good and virtuous nature may recoil, and an imperial charge, but I shall crave your pardon.
I have lost all my hopes.
Even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motifs, those strong knots of love? Without leave taking, you may be rightly just, whenever I shall think.
Bleed, bleed, poor country, great tyranny.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think your country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. Yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer in more sundry ways than ever, but him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of the vice so grafted, that, when they shall be open, black MacBeth will seem as pure as snow.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned than the evils to taught MacBeth.
I grant him bloody, false, deceitful, malicious, smacking of every sin, that has a name. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust, and my desire, all continent impediments, but overbear. What did oppose my will? Better MacBeth than such a one to reign?
Boundless impertinence, and nature is tyranny. It hath been the ultimate ending of this happy throne, and fall of many kings, but fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. We will have willing dames enough.
With this there grows my most ill-composed affection, such as stanchest avarice, that, were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels in this other's house.
This Erebus sticks deeper, grows it with it more than a treacherous root. This summer seeming lust and hath been for the swords of our slain kings, yet do not fear. Scotland hath fusions of all your will, and for now mere own.
But I have none, the king becoming graces as justice. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell. Pour the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live, O nation, miserably with an untaught tyrant, bloody subject. Fare thee well. These evils, though repeat upon thyself, have brandished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, they hope to end here.
Devilish MacBeth, God above, deal between thee and me. I am yet unknown to woman, the devil to his fellow in delight, no less in truth than life. Whither indeed, before they hear approach? Old seaward, with 10,000 warlike men, why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile.
Well, more anon. Comes the king forth, I pray you.
Aye, sir, there are a crew of wretched souls that stay his care.
I thank you, doctor.
What's the disease he means?
'Tis called the evil, a most miraculous work in this good king.
See, who comes here?
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now, good God, but times remove the means that make us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy.
O relation too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker, each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
But not a niggard of your speech, how goes it?
When I came hither to transport the tidings, your eye in Scotland would crave soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither, gracious England hath lent us good seaward and 10,000 men.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that could be howled out in the desert air, where hearing could not lash them.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a grieve thee that does some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in the shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep enough from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. to relate the manner whereon the quarry of these murdered deer to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven!
My children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And it must be from there thence. My wife is killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge, to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children, all my pretty ones. Did you say all?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it like a man.
But this is the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, and rage it.
Oh, I could play the women within mine eyes, this baggage of my tongue. If he scrapes heaven, forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. MacBeth is ripe for shaking.
2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went to the field. I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock a closet, take blood paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed, yet while in a most vast sleep.
What, at any time, have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep, observe her, stand close.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her. It seems thus, washing her hands. I have known her to continue this quarter of an hour.
Here's a spot. Out, damn spot, out, I say! 1, 2. Well, then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. By my lord, fie! Soldier and feared. What need be fear who knows it when none can call our powers to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that? Go.
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands never be clean? More of that, my lord, no more of that! We're all with the starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoken what she should not, I'm sure of that. Heaven knows what she knows.
Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia would not sweeten this little hand. Oh.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep who have died wholly in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo was buried. Cannot come out of one's grave. To bed! To bed! It's knocking at the gate. Come. Near your hand. Its tongue cannot be undone. To bed. To bed!
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge burns in them.
Near Burnham Wood shall we go.
Who knows if Donalbain be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he is not.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane, he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad. Others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury.
Now does he feel his secret murder sticking on his hands. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dormer's sleeve.
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed.
For so much as it needs, to do the sovereign flower and drown the weeds, make our march towards Burnham.
There's no more reports. Let them fly on. Till Burnham Wood remove the Dunsinane, I cannot tame with fear. Devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Where goes that goose that look?
There's 10,000.
Geese! Villain!
Soldiers, sir. The English force, so you please.
Take thy face hence. Satan, I am sick at heart. And behold, Satan, I say, this push will cheer me ever, or deceive me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is to fall into this here, the yellow leaf.
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
It is not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick common fancies. Keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, which weighs upon the heart.
Therein the patient is ministered to himself.
Throw physique at the dogs, I'll none of it. Come, put mine armor on, give me my staff. Satan, send out. Doctor, thy things fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch.
Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death in vain, till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane, the way clear, oft again.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
Well, what is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby we shall shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery earn the report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps us still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down for it.
'Tis his own hope.
Let our just centers attend the true event we put on, industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that we will do decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls, the cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. What is that noise?
It is the cry of woman, my good lord.
I've almost forgotten the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled. To hear a night shriek, I've supped full with horrors. Daring is familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. Out, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought, the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath, if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming, I say, a moving grove.
If thou speakst false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive. Till famine cling they ring the alarm bell. Blow, wind, come, rack, at least we'll die with harness on our back.
The leafy streams throw down, and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, meet our first child.
Fare you well.
Make all our trumpets speak, give them all breath, those clamorous harbingings of blood and death.
I cannot fly. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one I am to fear, or none.
What is thy name?
Thou wilt be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any in hell.
My name's MacBeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful in mine ear.
No, no more fearful.
Thou liest. A horrid tyrant, with my sword, I'll prove the lie thou speakest.
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn. Brandished by a man that's born of woman.
The way the noise is, tyrant, show thy face. If thou'st been slain, if there's no stroke of mine, my wife and chosen ghost will haunt me still.
This way, my lord, the castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight, and little is to do.
We met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Thou loosest wind, as each face out in the trench of day. That keen sword impresses me through torn of woman.
Spare thy charm. Javelins from us from others who untimely ripped.
Keep the word upon this warrior, break into our hands. I'll not fight with you. I will not yield to kiss the sound before your majesty. Though Burnham wouldn't come to Dunsinane, and thou oppose her none of woman born, yet I'll try to last.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him.
They say he parted well and paid his score, and so God be merciful.
Hail, King! Restore thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper King's head? The time is free. I see thee confess, with my weeping pearl, that sees my celebration from the light. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honored name. What's more to do, which be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, applaud the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministry of his dead butcher and his friend-like queen. So thanks to all at once and each to one, whom we invite to see us crowned as throne.